Hey family and friends, it's Chris here on Wednesday, April 11th, 2018, and I am happy to be with you all this evening. I shared yesterday's link with many of you just a couple hours ago. I more or less didn't get it up on YouTube until today. However, not too concerned. It was happy though to get it out and to share it with you. Likewise, I mean, what is different about today's video? I don't know. I think today it's just a general comment and hello. Yesterday I did get a little bit more reflective, and that's wonderful. Today, let's just enjoy a little bit more relaxed time. I certainly did focus my energy and, positively on healing. That was a big part of my mental awareness today. Though I'm just enjoying relaxing at this point with you friends. And on that note, I have one of my special coffees in hand. Bulletproof coffee. And I'll give folks a moment while I ramble on and repeat myself about my bulletproof coffees. To get yourself your cup of Joe if you haven't already. Now, of course, as everybody is now likely familiar with, bulletproof coffees are a black coffee with coconut oil and butter. And then you mix these things into a blender, and then I heat this up for a further 30-35 seconds, and it comes out really like an espresso. It's a wonderful drink. Okay, friends and family, I see you've got your drinks. On the count of three, 1, 2, and 3. Simultaneous sip. There was no acting for the camera right now. That was just me taking a moment to enjoy a sip of coffee. I loved it. Good to the last drop. Here's an interesting thing about the making of it and how the components affect each other. What I mean by that is we broke the bottom, or it cracked when we were washing it, the part to the blender. However, Mom was able to find an extra blender bottom at her place, and within a day it's been repaired. However, going for a day without a real blender, I did try and use like a hand blender, the type you make cakes and stuff with, but it never really whipped up the coffee well enough into, like an espresso or a whipped up drink. I mean, of course you can have a straight black espresso, so that's not exactly the right term. I don't know. I'll put it out there to the world. If anyone knows what a whipped coffee drink is, please leave it in the comments. That's rambling on about yesterday's coffee situation, which today was repaired with this new replacement. Happy man. My needs are few and far between. I shared my legitimate hopes for myself and for the world. Health and peace in that order. And so I can just relax. I don't have anything I need to say. I will express, sincere gratitude for anyone that's listening right now. I don't know what there is. I don't know. My words are kind of failing me. It's like a warmth for a fellow person, fellow human being. Hey, we're all in this life together and separately, of course, though it is kind of there's certainly a collective conscious that we are a part of. And if you have to ask me, that is what lives on. Is how we were a part of this collective consciousness. And you know, we don't have to live on in some outstanding overt way like a Benjamin Franklin, Washington, you know, Einstein or Gandhi. Those are the great, you know, figures in history. You know, I think I find a lot of just understanding, and I'll have, you know, it's not a new revelation to me, but just being like a grain of sand in the desert or a drop of water in the ocean. Anyways, I question, maybe I'm just rambling here anyway, so I don't want to bore anyone. However, you're free to leave at any time, so that's okay. I like listening to a lot of talk radio. You know, I'm not such a fan of commercial advertisements. I've never been a fan of commercials or buying things. However, you know, I'm one to enjoy the listening and more so than TV watching. I think that's more my parents' generation. Older generations are much more TV oriented. I think, you know, we've been growing up with the internet practically all our lives. You know, my first internet experience, I'm just rambling, but hey, I enjoy it. My first internet experience was in 1993, and I just finished high school. I was working at a private school, and some other young staff took me into the science room where they said, hey, I'm going to download some sheet music. I'm like, why would there be, you know, popular sheet music on a computer in the biology room? We have come a long way, ladies and gentlemen. You know, even when I see family and friends just comfortable in using their phones, and, you know, it's really like their laptop, I'm just, wow, it's just come such a long way so quickly. And we live in the most amazing times. And I hope that we have really a golden age in front of us. And if we actually believe it can happen, it can happen. Well, that's, you know, maybe a bit more philosophical and I don't know what the right word is. Wouldn't be so cynical as to say naive. Altruistic, maybe. But that's okay. We all have to get by in the world somehow, right? And so a few altruistic narratives to pass us through, well, we'll manage. Friends and family, thanks for putting up with me as always. Everyone, have a good night.